For how to prepare for the exam, I found it useful to take the online sample questions a few times actually. There's 20 questions in total. Taking them a few times really helps with getting you in that mindset of what to expect, and they're very helpful. I also took the foreman and the project manager exam, and I did find that those are very useful.
Reviewing the practice questions was the first thing I had done, and that was a huge help. Not only did I review the practice questions, but I did them probably 3 or 4 or 5 times, even though they're the exact same questions. It helps just to read the questions and see how they're worded, what the answers are, and getting that familiarity. And some of those questions are the same questions that will be on the exam. It's exactly what you should expect when you go in to write the exam. Those questions are the exact format that you will be dealing with.
Lastly, to prepare for the exam, completing the competency self-assessment tool. Just going through everything really helps remind you of things you've learned over the past in past courses. It helps you identify some key items which maybe you need to do a quick refresher on.
Ethics is extremely important overall in our job. In our position, ethics is probably the most important thing that you're going to deal with on a day-to-day. And with that, reviewing that past course material as it was recommended, extremely important. Overall, when reviewing the questions, rely on your instinct, your experience, and the best practices that you have done on the job and that you've witnessed on the job and that you know to be the best practices and that you instinctively know to be the best response. It's usually the right response. The questions on the exam are not trying to trick you or deceive you. They're very straightforward questions, even though some of the responses may seem like they're partially correct. There should be one answer that stands out to you based on your experience and your past methods and best practices that will stand out more than not.
Try and avoid clock watching too much. There were 180 questions in the superintendent exam, and you had 3.5 hours to complete it, which means you have 70 seconds per question. Once you open the exam, there is a clock in the bottom corner, which you can look at, but try not to stare at it too much. Set yourself up by breaking the exam up into 4 quarters. What I did was every 45 minutes, I would check down the clock and check it against how many questions were left. Some questions refer to you being the general contractor and some the subcontractor. So pay attention to the question and make sure you understand how you're answering it.